So I just need to talk about something that continues to bother me about not just the civilization, but as a whole, but also just like individual people that I know. The one thing most people here don't know about me is that I've experienced a lot of different things in my life. From poverty to having shit and make a little bit more. And I've done a lot of things, man. First job I had when I was 11, I worked at a pizzeria, and then from there, a little supermarket, and then from there, a bigger supermarket, and then, and then all of a sudden I found myself in banking and clerical work, and then from there, fucking account management, and then from there, account management in another place, and then from there, like working in the operations area, managing accounts again, and then from there, all of a sudden, I became a programmer, and then I started programming for a while, and then I brought all that knowledge into the programming, and then I did that for a while, and then that became something that just I needed to get away from because I was supporting a system that I didn't really believe in. I was supporting things and things that were done to people, like being laid off, like being I don't know, jobs have changed, and all of a sudden you're doing things that you don't want to do. And throughout it all, I was a musician. I never really got into sports, but I was a musician. Some sports, I mean, mostly more like the biking and the handball and the paddleball, and not so much competitive in a sense where we're team competitive sports. And throughout my whole life, I've had to fight the fact that I don't really think that the rules that are being forced upon people are thought out, and if those rules didn't have money as the root cause of creating them, because you're protecting money no matter what it is, whatever rule it is, whatever thing it is always protecting money. The courts protect money, the police officers protect money, everything supports and protects money. And that is in itself scary if you think about it. I mean, this thing that's inorganic. I mean, there's no way do you see, even if you believe in all the religions that are out there, none of them have a God sitting or some kind of creator sitting there with a dollar bill. Yet you treat that piece of paper and that thing that it represents like a God. So, yeah, I've seen so much in my lifetime that the way I react to things are not just me, but things that I've absorbed based on the knowledge that I have of so many different things. And I'm not making myself into some great guy, but when you read my posts and you read the things that I write and the things that I'm pushing out there, and someone is dictating the way I should live and I should be, and if you do it this way, then you get back into the social graces of the work they used to do, and then you get all your clients back, and then you might get some other ones, and as long as you do the things that they want you to do, and they always have some kind of monetary a system behind them that are making them so strong and powerful enough to tell you these are the rules and this is what you have to follow. I lived in a lot of different places, some lower income, some a little bit better. The ones that are a little bit better always had the people that didn't like noise, didn't like drumming, didn't like yelling, didn't like all these things. All these things that no. I pay a lot of money to be here, so all these things, I should be entitled to not having any of these things bother me. And then lived in places where people were yelling and screaming at each other. There's kids playing. There's gunshot here or there. Noise. And while you have a certain time, you have to at one point just kind of stop because people are around you going to sleep. There is a much more tolerance level in the lower income places than the more well-to-do places. I've lived in a project area. I worked in a project area. I lived in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn, which is right next to Brooklyn Heights, and has that whole, once this was very, very, very like project area, very, very like urban street, and then as the yuppies came in, gentrified it, it became like this thing where you can't make any noise, you can't do anything, and you're respecting the other people around you. The respect that these people deserve is in my mind almost nothing, because even me, when I went to rent there, the reason I wanted to rent there because I wanted to be close to my job, and I don't want to have to commute. If my job was somewhere else and I commute, I wouldn't live there. I mean, it was cute and it was nice. I lived there for 4 years, but it represents something that back then I didn't even understand it as much, but now I understand it very well. That I didn't really feel comfortable in, because it continues the caste system. It continues the system where there's these things that make people more important than other people. In my eyes, everyone is equal. And if your importance is more because of your degree, because of your knowledge as a in the PhD that you have, because of your whatever it is, because of your monetary value. And most of the time, it's monetary value. That is the greatest thing. Right? You got a lot of money, then you're very important. If you don't got no money, they'll step over you, and not your whole life is just basically being ignored. When in a sense, if we're all equal, right? As I see people, then you have this sense of connecting with everything else around you that feels there's nothing superior. The sun isn't superior to the moon, even though it gives us light. It still doesn't project itself as being superior. If it did, then it would devour the moon and devour us in that way. It is considered everything in this planet that's living on this living organism we call Mother Earth. Everything on this planet is equal. Yeah, there's nothing that pronounces itself the best except for the human. The human pronounces itself the highest of the species. Right? We have the brains. We have all this great knowledge. Yet we still don't understand that the only way we can connect with everything around us is if we mimic its perfection. And that perfection, one big difference between us and them and everything else around us, is that we have a monetary system to corrupt us, and they have none. So corruption comes from the fact that you value something over something else. You value one human after the other. Corruption comes into play when you try your best to become that thing. You can't, so then somehow you make it happen anyway, and if you have enough money, you will. That is the power that we have bestowed on money. And because of that, you have situations where I'm trying to pinpoint certain things, and sometimes I do it jokingly, sometimes I do it very, very harshly. It is where I come from, and it's a lot of different places, and what I learned was a lot of different things. And like I said, at this point, I don't even try. I had no idea. I think I kind of want to talk about this, but I have no idea what I was going to talk about tonight. And it's the same thing that I do in most things that I do. They always represent something that I don't plan, but once I'm open and speak and start talking, it just kind of flows out of me. yeah, again, I'm not propping myself up to being some great thing, but I kind of surprise myself sometimes. You know, excuse me, gas. So so the thing about like, you know, people telling me how to live and how I should be, and that if you did it this way, then you know, just follow the rules. You can't follow any rules. You can't. You know, they tell you not to be there at night, or they tell you only got to be. You have to be this. You know, these rules are based on a monetary value. If there was no money, there would really be very few rules, because everybody would understand that just doing it as an equal person, equal to everyone around you, everything around you, will then take away any problems that you would have by not following the rules. Right? Oh, but there's, well, yeah, I would go in the woods and bang if my tribe wanted to go to sleep. But at the same token, it's like probably my tribe would be up with me at that point, exploring the same things that I'm trying to explore. And you know, the thing of it is, there's no place that I can do this. There's no place I can walk into with a drum and say, okay, I'm going to be moving in here, and they say, oh, except for a place where there's other drummers, and they go, oh, great, what time are you playing? Around 2:30 in the morning. Let's go, man. You know, that doesn't happen much, and because of it, creativity is stifled. People that can be connecting to certain energies at certain times of the day is ripped away. There's no place I could camp. There's no place I could. There's no free places. And oh, you go to Alert State Park and they charge you at a certain time and to camp out there. And everything in this planet is undergoing the same kind of like construction that like, you know, completely saying that this is, you know, this living organism, this piece of the organism is mine, just because I discovered it, because you happen to, you know, walk by it, because you happen to, you know, dig into it, because you were doing the things that you probably shouldn't be doing to a living organism, and then profiting from it. You know, that's what you consider helping the planet, helping the civilization. You're just charging it. You know, the Mother Earth would have showed you how to do it a better way, but instead you did it this way, and you know what? Now you're stuck with this. And you're stuck with the fact that you've hurt and damaged, tried to hurt and damage a living organism that is much more powerful than you. Mother Earth is more powerful than any human being that exists. You can take all your bombs and blow her up, but then you got to remember, if you blow her up, let's see, if you blow Mother Earth up, that means you blow yourselves up too, right? So then you say, okay, well, I can't do it that way. How else am I going to control Mother Earth? Because one day she's gonna say enough is enough, and do what she has done before and will do again. And like, if you were her, you would do too. That's the bottom line. You know, it's the fact that there's a system where we have to be confined by these certain rules created by the elite class and the people that have money to protect their money means absolutely nothing. That's why, oh, well, you don't follow the rules. Yeah, well, I don't really, you know, but the problem is, like, I might not follow the rules, but you have taken every place that I could possibly be in and put those rules in place there, which makes it very, very mean on your part, because you're basically cutting off my life. You're cutting off things that I can do because you have the power and the money to be able to come across all these things and buy them. So then all of a sudden, I can't live here because I don't have this or that, or I speak too loud, or I'm too angry, or I'm an activist and I like to play my drum at 2 o'clock in the morning. What, you know, I mean, where can I do that? Nowhere? Okay, so then I have to completely stop doing it. So what then you have done is you've taken that and you've taken a creative practice, and then you've stifled it and you've taken it away. And that's what you do for every human being. Every human being that has to undergo a rule that was created, again, every fucking law, one way or the other, has to do with a monetary system and money that is forcing people to do things that they would normally not do. And like I said, money corrupts, absolutely, everything it touches. Eventually, everything that started, even in good intentions, will become corrupt as soon as money becomes a part of it. And that's what happens to most of the intentional communities that eventually fail. And that's what happens to basically there is nothing that represents not even the intentional community, because they still have to pay for their land. All these rules that are put in place to keep an elite class in power, to me, aren't rules. What they are whatever they used to call what the slaves had to do during slave time. You have this job. What do you mean a job? You pay them. What do you think they called what the slaves had to do? Doing chores, doing kids, right? It was their slave responsibilities. It was their slave labor. It was what they were then taken away from wherever they were and put in a place where they are now slaves to the elite that can afford them. And because of that, then you have, let's see, an entire civilization that then is born out of that same slave mentality. So yeah, when it comes to the rule of not hurting anyone, and the rule of oh, actually it's a commandment, or maybe it's just like a good idea. Two, just making sure that every child born has a free existence from birth to death, giving them everything they need to be able to understand what they are, and then ascend out of here. And 1, 2, 3. You know what 3 is? Making sure that you take care of every human being on this planet that you're living on as the number one priority. Not your economy, not your games. You have your games, man, but I don't. The thing of it is, man, if the game becomes the civilization, then that is a fucking joke. If we as a civilization are competing with each other, that's like the body competing with each other. That sounds really stupid, right? Cells of the body competing with each other. I think that's cancer. That's what I mean. If we all became this aware that everyone takes care of each other as the number one priority, and each other and the planet and the other living organisms, the number one priority. Throw away the economy, throw away the stock market, throw away the businesses that are for profit, throw away everything that represents something that is competitive, and because it is a waste of your fucking time, and you ain't got a lot of time left. So the things that I post. The comments that I get, sometimes they're pretty harsh on what she said. Exactly what she said is exactly right. It's exactly what I feel. It's exactly what she said. It's it's exactly what you are, and did I really need anything from her or you? You think anything that her or you say is going to change what I've done or what I'm going to be doing? When you become aware of how much this is eerily like the fucking Matrix movie, and how much this is eerily like basically a slave planet that has enslaved an entire, not just civilization, an entire grouping, 8 billion souls, because there shouldn't be this many souls on this planet. They should have ascended. Souls don't come in and then stay. Souls are supposed to ascend. The more people you have, the more souls are here that keep on coming back because they haven't worked out their karma and left. And you have a cruise ship that has a capacity of 10,000 people. All of a sudden, it's got 3 billion. And what do? The ship is going to sink. And it's all because you never got off the boat. The reason you never got off the boat is because they never taught you how to fucking walk. Much less walk off something that needs a little bit of a. How many? We got 8 billion now. God, this is a little bit too much. I told you 80. And once they start reaching 8 billion, I am a mother. So, that's my suggestion. And if anybody doesn't like that, if the Kabbalah lady, she starts up again with the sending things, I'm just gonna block them. And the other woman whatever she says is exactly right. That's what you. then I'll block them too. It doesn't really matter. I don't want to insult them. And to me, it's my you know, it becomes, as a Virgo, it becomes a very big pleasure of like, you know, countering everything you said and fucking and making you see how like wrong you are. But if you don't feel that way, if you think your ideas of supporting the elite and supporting a system that continues this, and you want this for your children and your grandchildren, God bless you, man. Good luck, because you ain't got a lot of time left. You count on grandchildren, there's not even going to be that available for this planet, because it has gotten to this point. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's gotten to this point. If not, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be making these videos. I'd be in my sound healing studio doing sound healing work. But this is what I was guided to do for a specific reason, because you ain't got much of a chance and much of a time left. And why am I going to waste my time doing anything individually for you when I can do this? I got 2 years left. I might as well just play her drums until the whole fucking place goes up. Because you know what? You don't believe it, and it doesn't matter if you don't believe it or not. The fact is, if it happens, then it's your fucking fault. Don't blame Mother Earth. Don't blame God. Don't blame whatever you want to blame, because it's your fault. Because you allowed this to happen, and you never, you know, you were programmed to be able to go and overcome this stuff, and guess what? That didn't happen again. It's like, you know, what do you do? What do you do? So the people that came, and you know, I've been through a lot of things in my life, man. What I'm seeing is because I'm seeing it. What I'm seeing is wrong with the society. Is wrong with the society as a programmer I fucking saw was wrong with applications, and I fucking rebuilt them. And you can ask any programmer, most programmers that work with me at those specific times, I was really good at what I did. Why? Because I can see into things and know when the fucking shit isn't working right. And God damn it, you ain't working right. And I know very well, I could know very well. This application has a year before the upgrades don't take, and it's just gonna blow up. Don't like roaches. It's gonna take a year before things blows up. And most of the times when I made those predictions about applications that I looked at and I saw problems with, I was right. That's why I did so good in what I did. That's why I ended up walking away, because you know what? Why should I do so good for people that don't even understand that what they're doing is enslaving other human beings? So, namaste, good night. Sorry to the Kabbalah lady and the other one that her little, you know, her little psychic, whatever. Anybody else that commented, you know, about me being that she's right and you're wrong, and she exactly what she said. Why? Because she had money. Did she have to pay you? Either way, it doesn't really matter. You're helping, and you're keeping, and you're protecting money, which is what you as human beings are trained to do. Like just like the dog that trained the watchdogs to train the house. You know, I mean, you know, the German ones, the German Shepherds, and in Nazi time, those dogs you know, if that's what you want to do and protect the money, then you know, good luck. See how long that lasts you. If you think that's going to last you into way into the future, good luck, man. It's not, because what they're trying to do is make everything so you don't have paper anymore and everything electronic. So then all of a sudden they put little things in your body, but that's never going to happen. You see, that's what your future is, predicted future for the way you're thinking, and you want to continue the civilization going, but it's not going to reach that point. That's science fiction. The reality is that your civilization is going to implode way before you get to anything like that. So don't believe me? Ask God. She, it just told me. Good luck. Namaste.